Okay, you are watching and listening to Fat Bidin Knows Everything, and it is called Fat Bidin Knows Everything because I do know everything. This week, what I want to talk about is what has been discussed in Parliament recently, and it's got me a little bit confused, and that is the AUKU Act, or the Universities and Colleges Act. This week's episode is brought to you by my childhood favorite snack, chicken in a biscuit. Now, we know that there has been a change of government in March this year, right before the MCO, right before COVID-19 happened, and we had a lockdown. We were ruled by the Pakatan Harapan government, and under the Pakatan Harapan government, chicken in a biscuit. Yeah. Under the Pakatan Harapan government, the Minister of Education at that time, who is a friend of mine, who's no longer a Minister of Education, Dr. Mazni Malik, and his administration, and the whole Pakatan Harapan administration, had actually planned to abolish the AUKU Act, abolish the Universities and Colleges Act, or at least amend it, because that act says that university and college students and faculty members, staff of universities and colleges as well, are not allowed to take part in politics. Right? Now, that is kind of a bullshit act. Right? So Pakatan Harapan, under the manifesto, they were supposed to change that. And the Minister of Education at the time, Dr. Mazi Malik, was doing that. And full transparency, I was helping him manage his YouTube channel at that time. I had access to all the meetings that he went to, and I was there, I was filming, I was documenting, me and my team, right? And I was even in some of the meetings where they discussed how they were going to amend the act or actually even abolish the act. And it was a great thing. I saw discussions happening where they wanted to allow faculty members to be able to be active in politics. They were going to allow students to be active in politics. They were even giving more autonomy to student bodies and student councils in universities and colleges so that they can have a say. Right? And this was also in line to the Pakatan Harapan's promise to lower down the voting age to 18 years of age, right? 18 years old, right? Now, this week in Parliament in session, right? We saw the Higher Education Ministry coming out saying that they are not going to abolish the AUKU Act, not even going to amend it. They say that the Act is useful, it's needed. It's needed, Needed for what? I'm trying to guess here. I'm wondering what the Act is needed for what? Because they don't want people to be active. They don't want the youth to be active in politics. So why is this needed? Right? Okay. Now, they say they're not going to do it. So there you have the youth minister, the former youth minister, Syed Saddiq, who's now no longer youth minister because he's no longer in the government, right? Standing up and questioning it. Hey, what's happening? What's happening here? Former Minister of Education, Dr. Mazi Malik, stood up and said, hey, what's happening here as well? Right? We were supposed to change it. But no. Now, here's the funny thing. There are some members of Parliament who were in the Pakatan Harapan government who were supporting it. They were in the administration that had promised to abolish the Act, now coming to say, oh, no, we need it. Now we need it. For what? Right? Are you trying to curb political activism and political knowledge and political awareness among the youth so that they will not be as aware about politics in order to, I don't know, abuse the situation maybe? Like how it has been the last 60 over years? Maybe? I don't know. Allegedly, I'm assuming. Right? I'm assuming. Now, but they're still going on. There's a funny thing. They're still going to go lower the voting age to 18. Right? They're going to lower the voting age. Lower the voting age to 18, but the same people who would be in universities and colleges now will not be able to take part in politics. I don't understand. I do not understand. So, I have a big problem with this. Right? I have a big problem with him because I think it's just stupid. Let me know what you think. Comment below. Let's have a discussion. I want to know what you all have to say about this. I'm just very angry. Now, it's not, when it happens like this, I don't know what to say. I'm just going to continue eating my chicken and the biscuit. Maybe later go for a walk with my wife and son. Alright. Now we're going to go to the section where I talk about something that has interested me. That is interesting to me. I want to highlight something that is interesting to me. The latest episode of Freakonomics, the podcast. I listen to Freakonomics, the podcast, quite regularly, and the recent episode really caught my attention because they were talking about how GDP is not a good indicator of good economics, right? It's not an indicator of a successful country, it's not an indicator of a successful society. And they are trying to change this, but of course it's being opposed by a lot of people. And especially now because of COVID-19, the fact that GDP is being used as an indicator to see how successful an economy is just become more invalid now, right? So I think it's quite interesting. Listen to it. They say that there are way better indicators to show that a society is successful. They're not talking about a growth in the economy. They use terms like degrowth, but it's not necessarily degrowth, but actually maintaining what you already have. It's interesting. Listen to it. I think that's like a line that I want to explore further, right? When it comes to economics and the economy of countries and the world and all that, especially now in the situation of a pandemic that we're facing, okay? Okay. So I guess that's it. You have been watching and listening to Fat Bidin Knows Everything. You can follow us on all our social media platforms at Fat Bidin. Go to fatbidin.com to get everything. Don't forget to like this video. No, don't like, but definitely comment because I think this is an issue that we need to talk about, right? Yeah, subscribe, and that's it. Okay, yo.
I've got 3 kids, 1 wife, and me to support. So you've got to help fund my life. So you actually can go to the Fat Bidin e-store, right? I'm gonna link it below, right? And you can get actually like Fat Bidin merchandise, right? And most of it are actually books. I used to sell DVDs and films and all that, but hey, everything's available on YouTube now. So now if you want to get Fat Bidin merchandise, it's mostly books. So I've got books here. See, like this book. This is called The Adventures of a Kerala in Afghanistan. It's a graphic novel. See, graphic novel which I wrote and illustrated with my buddy Apan, right? It's a non-fiction one. It's about my time in Afghanistan shooting a documentary for a month when I was there. See, I'm a war journalist, right? So it's a really good book, right? I've got this non-fiction novel. It's called Operation Nasi Kerabu, Finding Patani in an Islamic Insurgency. This book I wrote because I spent some time in southern Thailand where there's a war there. You all know there's a war there, right? In Patani, right? I shot a documentary there which was banned for broadcast, but hey, they allowed me to publish a book. And if you get the book, there is a QR code at the back, right? There's a QR code at the back which allows you to watch it for free online. Oh, where's the QR code? Where's the QR code? There's the QR code, right? It's online, meaning you scan the QR code, you go to my YouTube channel. Okay, I've got another book. This is called Journo Dad, The Chronicles of a Journalist Who Happens to Be a Father. It's a compilation of my articles, my column when I was writing for the Malaysian Insider. It's all about like me being a journalist and raising a family at the same time. It's really funny. It's funny. My best-selling book, Liberal, Malay and Malaysian, Writings of a Walking Contradiction. This is a compilation also of my column in the Malaysian Insider. This one focuses more on like politics, race, demonstration, democracy and religion and things like that. It's funny too. All my books are funny because I'm a funny guy, right? Yes, I am. And if you like films, I sell this book. See, I wrote this book with my buddy Wan Chun Hong. It's a guide to filmmaking, indie filmmaking. Every chapter talks about one aspect of filmmaking, and every chapter also interviews one like a really prominent Malaysian filmmaker. It's really good. You can get all these books at the Fat Bidin e-store. Come on, feed my kids.